Hello friends, it's Kat from Meow Kapow. How are you today? After that really detailed piece I did for the Animal Artists Collective, I'm feeling a bit burnt out, so let's do something fun. M.Graham is an American company known for its super pigmented watercolors and gouache, and they've got these really cool 5-color watercolor sets available. I have a few that I've been meaning to review, and since playing with new paints is always exciting, let's explore the Desert Southwest set first. Check the doobly-doo for links to all the materials used, as well as other goodies like links to my Instagram and Skillshare and whatnot. The 5 colors in the Desert Southwest set are quinacridone rust, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, mineral violet, and turquoise. This color combo excited me from the start entirely because I was enchanted by the mineral violet and turquoise. The other 3 colors are essentially just variations on warm yellow, so all in all it's a set of 3 yellows, a purple, and a turquoise. I made 2 little travel palettes in nearly the same style as my simple, quick DIY mini palette and gave one away as a gift to a friend. There is a special pocket on the underside of the palette to hold the swatch chart so it doesn't get messy inside of the tin. This is just made by taking some packing tape and folding it onto itself so there isn't a sticky side, cutting a V-shaped opening on one end so that you can access what's inside the pocket, and then taping the pocket to the palette with some more tape. You can easily slide the swatch card in and out of the pocket as needed, so it's good if you need to reference the information, but it's also easy to keep out of the way without getting lost. As for the colors in this set, their range isn't exceptionally large since there are 3 relatively similar colors, but it's still a really pleasing set. I asked over Instagram what I should paint with these colors, and a lot of people gave me some great recommendations, including some really awesome reference photos of the Grand Canyon, but my brain is total mush, so I ended up just making a doodle finder. In all honesty, because my doodle finder ended up being 4 faces, I think it wasn't the best subject to really display the beauty of these colors, but it still absolutely works to show their performance. It's crazy to say this because one of the main reasons that I love Daniel Smith paints is that they're super highly pigmented, but I keep having trouble with my M.Graham paints because they are too pigmented. Even if you mean to get just a tiny amount of color, you somehow find that you've gotten quite a lot and your mix is much richer than expected. For that reason, I had a lot of trouble with the top 2 faces of this since I went in with too rich of a color from the start, rather than working transparently and layering up to what I wanted. Which meant that for the bottom 2 faces, I tried my best to be more delicate in the layering, and I think the effect is a little closer to the desired one. If you've never worked with M.Graham paints before, one feature that you'll either love or hate about them is that they don't really bloom and flow across the page wildly, so it's really easy to control where they lay even if you aren't particularly careful about letting your layers dry between washes. In some respects, these remind me of my Magello Mission Gold paints, which are also highly pigmented and don't flow a lot in wet-on-wet applications. Both brands also include honey in their formula, so they're super easy to re-wet. But if I had to put a finger on the difference between their colors, M.Graham paints seem a little gruffer, more textured, and a bit more earthy and realistic. Mission Gold feels a little brighter, more smooth in their milling, and beautifully, unnaturally vibrant. I think it would be interesting someday to do a direct comparison between the 2 brands to see how accurate a description this is. The only real issue I had with these paints is something that I should have noticed from the swatch chart I made, but somehow just completely forgot. The mineral violet color is very opaque. When used very lightly, you can get super nice soft hints of purple, but if you really want to have a punch of purple, you will definitely feel its opacity. The problem is that purple is one of my favorite colors, so I tried to use a lot of it before realizing that it was the reason some of my shadow areas looked sort of muddy. That aside, the colors actually work really well together. I was personally surprised at how much variation there was in what were essentially 3 orangish yellows, and that it really did matter which one I used in each mix. Given that I personally think that these colors could have been put to better use with a different subject, I'd love to hear what you would have painted with them. As for my recommendation, these colors are beautiful, and buying them as a set is definitely much cheaper than buying them as individual colors, so they're absolutely worth it in my opinion. Just take some time to really get used to them if you don't have a lot of experience with M.Graham, because I cannot overstate how much of a punch they pack with their colors. Until I see you next time, I wish you peace, love, and purple, purple, purple.